Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Grease and Oil Pod. Oh shit, you had an opening bit. Man, I totally forgot
Okay,
about that.
five. Just keep going. Just keep it going.
Okay, five.
5, 4,
four,
3, 2,
2,
1.
1. Clap. That was good. That was a good one.
Marvel Studios' big budget recreation of Who Killed Captain Alex has got to be one of the most interesting films I've seen in a long time. It certainly has a lot of controversy and interesting elements surrounding it, and here we are, two unqualified Caucasian teenagers talking about a film for black adults. So
I gotta admit, I was not expecting that was where that was gonna go. I was expecting you to make a Pink Panther joke, just like everyone else who thinks they're funny.
No, Pink Panther's not a funny joke. Pink Panther's never been funny. That's why they made two awful Steve Martin movies.
I mean, the Pink Panther has the answer.
Is that true?
The Pink Panther has the answer.
I think you're singing a song from Aristocats.
There was definitely like a Pink Panther. That's Everybody Wants to Be. No, that's just kidding. That's not.
No, the Pink Panther song is.
This is retarded. Let's start talking about. We're talking about Black Panther.
Okay.
If no one's noticed yet, we're talking about Black Panther.
Today's episode is brought to you by Cocoa Puffs. For no particular reason, we chose the brown cereal this week. Cocoa Puffs is the surefire way to make your culture and your milk white as soon as you put it in. That's not how...
This episode's already off to a good start.
Yeah, so...
Also, if the audio sounds a little weird, it's because my recording software is janked up, so we had to sort of jury rig
We did have to do that. That is true.
So apologies if the audio sounds off.
The audio is going to be a little weird, or not weird, but unusual for this one. And I swear to God, if my sister just bursts into the room, we are fucked. Because we're not going to be able to mute this one, so hopefully she won't. Yeah, so Black Panther... I fucked up the joke earlier. But Black Panther was a very standard Marvel movie that everyone seems to be claiming to be some kind, like the Martin Luther King Jr. of movies. And it's really not. It's really not.
I think it was a little bit more than standard, I'd have to say. I'd have to say it's probably my top 5.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I mean, no. I'm not... Okay, look. I enjoyed it. I'm not saying it was a bad film. I'm with all of the big Disney brands, I'm just feeling a little bit of a burnout right now. Because, like,
I feel that.
With all the hype and all the culture and memes and all this stuff surrounding The Last Jedi, only to see the trailer for the new Han Solo film... whatever, a month after, like a little.
Okay, that
less,
looks like shit though.
A little.
That trailer
looks
like shit.
I'm just saying. All of this. What was the last Marvel? Thor? Was Thor the last one that came out?
Thor Ragnarok.
And that's the thing, is that I was looking forward to this film that had an incredible art design and color scheme, much like Thor. And I don't know. There's so many elements that I want to get into here, but the film Black Panther was advertised as this to take place in this technologically advanced African society, which is such a compelling concept, because if anyone knows anything about Africa forever, is that the white people fucked them up and their culture sucks now. It's all, it's like white person saying these things. But I'm just rambling. It's such an interesting concept that they do things with. Sure, it's not like they don't at all use that element in the film. Of course, majority of the film takes place in Wakanda, the fictional country. I mean, Marvel really likes to make up countries for these films. They got Wakanda. They got... What was that the one from Ultron that got a city dropped?
Sokovia,
Wakanda.
And then there's Doctor Doom's homeworld, Latveria.
Oh, I remember Latveria.
Dude,
yeah.
sorry, this is just you talking about the African stuff. I saw a tweet this morning, and it was like, why is Black Panther set in the fictional country of Wakanda when there's real African people who need their story told? And I'm like, because that'd be fucking boring. No one wants to watch African people starve to death.
Because there aren't real spaceships in these in any of. There's not a single. You know what? I guarantee to you, there's not a single spaceship, any kind of hovercraft on the continent of Africa. I guarantee it.
There's no mechanical arms that can turn into blasters.
That's so. It's so much of this film is reflected into real life struggles and real life things, and that's great, and it's true, and it's handled very well. But the issue isn't with the film itself. The film is very good. There's only a few real issues that I have with it, and I've heard these issues stated by a couple other people before, so I know I'm not the only one who has them. But
okay,
I just find it interesting how this film about a black superhero, some people just didn't get the fact that it's a superhero sci-fi alternate reality kind of goofy story, and not goofy like Thor Ragnarok or Ant-Man goofy, but goofy in sheer concept. It's a high concept film that takes itself pretty damn seriously, whereas Thor Ragnarok knew that the Thor movies were ridiculous. And they're like, yeah, no one can take these Norse gods seriously, so let's have the North gods not take them seriously. And it was like, okay, this is all funny. And now you've got these African warriors who do take themselves seriously in this advanced culture, and it's, of course, that's the thing. Most of these Marvel heroes are very wisecracky, joke-making, sarcastic, technologically whatever, ha ha ha, sarcastic characters, and we probably got too many of those. But in order to have a film that works the same way in terms of success, and you've got to have similar elements, and that's the thing. This film is not at all failing. Millions of people are going out to see this movie that would have not have otherwise seen. They would not have otherwise seen a Marvel property because they don't care about white superheroes. We don't have goddamn Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I don't fucking, who gives a shit? And yeah, I get that. But this film...
Yeah, that movie was pretty easy not to give a shit about.
But this film is a Marvel movie that happens to feature a black cast, not a black movie released by Marvel, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It is a nerdy, dorky sci-fi superhero movie that happens to have a black cast, and the majority of the audience that's going to see this it's not necessarily resonating with them in the way that they think it might, because I've seen multiple people complaining about, and I saw goddamn CNN fake news, whatever, but that meme, I don't even know if it was real or not. There was some screenshot that got posted everywhere about CNN reporting how thousands of African Americans are outraged after finding out that Black Panther is a film about a superhero, not the Black Panther movement of the 1960s.
I feel like that's not real.
I hope it's not real.
I feel like people aren't actually that stupid.
But people surprise me every day. Of all ethnic...
That's true.
All people are stupid. Black, white, everyone. Everyone's stupid. So I guess that's racist towards everyone. So...
I guess so. All right, whatever. So let's start talking about this. What would you say were some of your issues with the movie? Because I feel like we probably have more negatives than we do, or we probably have more positives than we do.
No,
negatives.
we know that this is not a bad film. This is not even a mediocre film. This is a very good film, and it's getting reviews it deserves. But it's not flawless. It's not The Dark Knight in terms of story structure or character. That's the thing. Majority of the characters don't really stand out to me, and there's a lot of plot questions that leave me like, what? You've got Michael B. Jordan's character is incredible. You've got his. That's the thing. First of all, I don't know a lot of the characters' names, and if I did, I would pronounce them in the most offensive way possible.
Dude, how could you forget Eric Killmonger? That's such a good name.
Okay, well that's like the one that isn't like T'Challa Hamala.
It's just T'Challa.
Sure, got it.
And then his dad is T'Chaka.
And his dad is Mufasa.
His dad... I was gonna make a joke, and then I realized that no one would get it, because it's a joke that only I understand. Because I'm a dumb bitch.
Those are the funniest jokes. They're the jokes that no one can laugh at. Isn't that right, Matt?
I can say... Oh, those are the only jokes I make. Okay, so sorry, we're back, still talking about the issues. Okay, so I disagree with you on that one. I can see where you're coming from, but I personally really resonated with each one of the characters, and I thought they all stood out. But again, I get where you're coming from.
First of all, that statement is a paradox, because they can't all stand out. Otherwise, there would be no one to stand out from.
Okay,
but
so whatever, Mr. Fucking...
That's fucking impossible, first of all. Second of all, I found Killmonger... Michael B. Jordan, very interesting. I found his little sister, Black Panther's little sister, who like runs the high-tech hospital or whatever. Really interesting. And
except for her what are those joke. That was horrible.
That was acceptable. Actually, wait, I have a question here. So,
what's your question? The
beginning of the film, he goes to tell his sister that that his father has died in the terrorist attack of Civil War, right?
Yes.
Was that like that was like 2 days after it, or something?
Right. This movie takes place right after Civil War.
That's what I was gonna ask, because I wasn't sure if it was like if they're kind of blending. Because that's the thing. All of these huge event films, you've got Civil War and the Avengers and all these things, you have all these films that take place in between, and they're sort of the what happened after stories, like Spider-Man Homecoming's relation to the Avengers, where you got 8 years later, even though it's 2020.
That shit makes no sense. That shit is so stupid.
That's a little confusing. Okay, but you've got all these elements that sort of play with the structure of a traditional. The flow of a traditional story, and then you've got these Marvel films that will very often come out years after the previous. Because that's the thing. Like last time we saw so many of these characters, they were locked in like a prison at the bottom of the ocean or whatever that was in Civil War, and it's like, what the fuck happened to Ant-Man? Well, you get to see Ant-Man in 2018. Wait,
no, dude,
what?
You gotta read they released a comic. This is total sarcasm. I mean, they did do this, but this is sarcasm. I say this. They released a comic book tie-in, so you gotta read that for it to make sense.
God, this is like this goddamn Star Wars argument all over again. But tying this all back to your comment, if the film takes place in the year 2016, then I feel like the "what are those" joke is fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
Think about it.
Oh my god. All right. You know what? Fair enough.
I feel like if it's 2016, that's the funniest goddamn joke you've ever made. Because it's like imagine making a Tide Pods joke on January 2nd, 2018.
All right. You got
Brilliant.
Me.
It's hilarious and it's very clever.
You got me. I didn't think about that one.
So after that very forced joke in the year 2018, which was brilliant because the characters who said it were in 2016. You've got the majority of I'd say the first third of the film isn't even plot, because I could not. That's the thing. There's certain films where I like it when you can't tell what's going to happen next. You can't see. The Last Jedi was a film I could not predict where it was going to go, and by the end I was like, holy shit, I was not. Okay, that happened. But Black Panther has a plot that's not only unpredictable, but not really. It doesn't flow in the way that a film should, because you've got it's a standalone film, and most of the time the Marvel standalone films are meant to introduce characters that will interact with the other characters in the big crossover movies. But this character was introduced within a crossover movie, and then you have to flesh out his character in his standalone, after we've gotten the origin story of he has to take the place of his father after he died with the Black Panther, blah blah blah, and his country, blah blah blah. So we already have the setup, his motivation, his backstory. We already have that, and we go into this movie wanting to expand on the character, and we do for the first third, but that's not a plot. We set in motion the idea that there might be a plot with the whole awesome. This thing I really like the way the film was starting out to go, because I thought after the first 20 minutes or so of, oh, your father's dead, blah blah blah, you get this stuff, but then you have an assignment, and it turns into like a Mission Impossible movie or James Bond movie where they have to go to South Korea to get the to kill Gollum in South Korea.
Ulysses Claw.
So they got to kill Gollum, and
Claw.
who is all Gollum who is hanging out with Bilbo in South Korea.
I'll get it because they're the Tolkien white guys.
Yeah, ha 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 ha. That's pretty clever. Even though I know you didn't come up with that.
Oh, I for sure didn't.
Yeah. So when they go to South Korea, it feels like, oh my god, this is a really cool like James Bond Mission Impossible like assignment kind of film. And they go for about 20-30 minutes of that and some mediocre cartoon action scenes with it's a bunch of people standing on a green screen and going, wow, look, I'm driving a car so fast, zoom zoom, look at my cartoon car, zoom through the cartoon
really
streets.
Quick, I have to say that the green screen in this movie was not great. A lot of the time.
I don't know why Marvel has such a big budget. They've been proven time and time again. I mean, Marvel's the Avengers. It's the goddamn. It made $623 billion. That's impossible.
It's a lot of money.
How much is? I'm looking at that. Wait, it's okay. Marvel's The Avengers 2012 made $1,519.6 million.
Okay.
The second Avengers film made only about a small profit of $1,405.8 million.
Oh, only that much.
I feel like Marvel has proven themselves to warrant a budget that goes beyond copy pasting crowd animation loops onto big rocks, prequel style.
Motherfuckers go film in the actual forest, in the actual jungle.
It was a bunch. It was so obvious, because that's the thing. This film they went to South Korea, okay. And then they saw the credits. Thank you for the Film Commission of South Korea. Like, they really went there. But then you've got one marketplace set that ends on a blue screen. You've got one throne room set, which looks so much like the prequels. You've got the grassy dream sequence thing that's like in the African tundra, where he meets his father with the eyeball that's about to fall out of his face. And you've got like a farm bit, I guess. Like there's majority of the film is a lot of CGI with a few sets that have blue screen on the end. It's very prequel-y in its execution and its design, and the CGI, a lot of it looks like some goddamn 2002 like the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
Yeah, the backgrounds, the green screen and shit in this movie is pretty
obvious. There were one too many times where Black Panther does a flip and he does a thing and he flips the car and he does that, where it's like, this just looks like a goddamn video game. I don't believe that it's like, whoa, look at those incredible parkour moves this guy's doing. It's like, no, that looks like Jedis hopping around.
Right.
It was there in terms of the visuals of the film. It reminded me of the prequels at least like 6 times throughout.
Okay.
And I don't know. I liked, there's so, and that's the thing. This is, with all these criticisms, this is under the underlying idea that this film is a very good film. You should all go out to see this film. You should all go out to. The film is not at all. The film does not need your support, but it sure deserves it. And that's the thing, is that this film is so successful and it's such a cultural movement that the idea is fantastic, and what it does for the superhero genres prove that heroes don't need to be white. That is awesome, fantastic, and it's exactly what it needs to do. But the culture around it and the misinformation with all of these people going out to see it that would not normally see superhero films and then being bored by this film, which is a superhero film. You could have the entire cast be white and have the country of Wakanda be in like next to Norway and basically make Thor again, and it'd be a very similar plot, because the plot, like I've said, is so disjointed. The first third is character introduction and secret spy mission, and then halfway through the movie we get introduced to the idea that, oh wait, there's like the son, the lost son of Wakanda who like disappeared, but now he's back. Hey auntie, how's it going? Blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, that's pretty funny, but like, you couldn't have. I mean, like, obviously, okay, they introduced the idea that the pre-credits scene, which was really interesting, having a Marvel film open with something that wasn't the awful. I hate the Marvel Studios intro.
Do you really?
Because I don't know who did it first. Was it DC or was it Marvel? They both have this garbage opening sequence where they show like cartoon versions of all the.
Oh yeah, that was definitely Marvel that did that first.
Okay, Marvel did it first. They show like a really,
because they
really
first had like the page
clip show.
They had like the page flipping effect at first,
right? And it was I remember that, but it was really poorly executed. I think DC probably did it worse, because DC actually has like little cartoon people, and
DC also does everything worse than Marvel.
No. Not everything. I believe a lot of the weird shit in Man of Steel, it's just very dour and depressing, and what happens
this is not about Man of Steel.
I'm just saying, I believe the 9/11 times a million in Man of Steel.
What I really liked in Black Panther is I really liked Andy Serkis. I really liked him as an actor. He had a very good presence. You could always tell he was very high energy and having a good time.
I felt like he was a bit, his character and how threatening he had been in the past, because he was introduced in Ultron, right?
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, so he was in Age of Ultron. He was very threatening there, and he was threatening. And this one, he kind of had a lot of dialogue that felt like a teenager, and he was kind of goofy and jumping around, and I was like, I don't know, isn't this like the threatening arms dealer kind of guy?
He probably just did a line of cocaine before showing up to shoot the movie.
I don't know. But
singing "What Is Love" in the interrogation room.
Yeah, like that felt kind of weird and forced.
Also, this is the second movie this year where Andy Serkis plays a villain who seems to be the main villain, but then is killed off and usurped halfway through.
Yeah, and they're also both Disney movies.
They are.
That first film, of course, we're talking about is Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest.
Oh, that movie. That's not even. That's the second one.
That's from
That one came out like 10 years ago, dude.
Oh, my bad. Pirates of the Caribbean's At World End.
You're getting closer. That one's 6 years ago.
Pirates of the Caribbean: A Star Wars Story.
There you go.
Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean: Age of Ultron. My bad. Right, that's the one. That's the one.
Shed Pirates of the Caribbean by Paul's Vids.
Okay. So, this film... Oh, no. Pirates of the Caribbean Ragnarok. Gotcha.
Yes.
So, Pirates of the Caribbean Panther was a film...
Panthers of the Caribbean.
That was better. That was better than mine. Panthers of the...
That's going to be the name of this episode, Panthers of the Caribbean.
Okay, so Panthers of the Caribbean was a film that really raised a lot of interesting questions and raised a lot of ethical questions in terms of this technologically advanced society that exists within a third world country, at least a third world country believed by the rest of the world. And so, like, you know, they got, at the end, the post-credit scene when they're at the United Nations, and they're talking about, sir, what exactly does Wakanda have to offer the rest of the world? And that's like, that's the big cliffhanger when he tells everyone what
And
Wakanda's
then
really about.
yeah, and then T'Challa and Martin Freeman look at each other with that dumb "oh, what do they know" look on their faces.
Executive producer Larry David. Okay, but you've got this society that has so many incredible advances. Even when they send the white guy in, and he has to be safe because he took a bullet for them, and they just sort of healed the bullet wound, and he's like, "What the fuck's going on?" So you've got this society that is so incredibly advanced in comparison to just about everyone else that exists within a society that everyone thinks is so not advanced, and it's this third world country of poverty and whatever. And I felt like that could have been played with so much more than it was, and it's an idea that gets played with at the beginning. They bring it back an hour and a half later when Killmonger is like, "Send out all the weapons, blah blah blah. We're gonna show the world who we really are." And then at the very end, when they're like, "We should tell the people who we are," and they go to the UN, and it's just such a compelling idea that should really fire the plot. It should really be the main point of the story, and it's not, because it should be a very interesting political debate that these characters who are so level-headed and so calm and collected, because for them, like I said, the two characters that stand out to me are the little sister and the villain, because they're not super monotone and chill. And I'm not saying that that Black Panther, the main character, I'm not saying his performance was bad, but it wasn't a character that I'm like, "Oh, who's Black Panther's character?" He kind of reminded me of like Qui-Gon Jinn, again, prequels. He just like calm, wise, collected, good, brave. Like it wasn't, his character didn't stand out to me. And you've got the bald lady with the nipples you can see in every scene.
Ooh.
You know what I'm talking about? Every scene
I don't.
she's in, she's not wearing a bra, and it was like the most like, can you just like CG, can you just like pull like a Henry Cavill and like digitally remove that mustache?
It's not what I was looking for when I was watching the movie. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
I wasn't looking for that either, but then it was like, oh, hi, nipples, okay.
Okay,
But
cool.
Bald Lady Nipples McGee was, again, very calm and Qui-Gon Jinn-ish. And you got the mom character who's there, and you got the actor from Get Out, who's
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, so he's there, and he flips on a dime from
that was
from being this little farmer guy who's chilling out with the main character, T'Challa. Is that his name?
Yes,
T'Challa. Okay, T'Challa. He's hanging out with T'Challa, and it's all great, and then we never see him until Killmonger comes back with Gollum's corpse. How the heck does he get? I thought they had like a magic force field around the city.
No, okay, so they have a magic force field around the city, but on the outskirts is where they have people that are plants just to pretend to be farmers and shit like that, to keep up the illusion that Wakanda's a third world country.
Oh, did they say that?
I think...
Did they say that
sort of,
in the movie?
I think...
Probably,
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to watch it a second time.
Possibly. Okay. So
that's a question mark.
Yeah, it's there's so many elements of it in the execution, because you think the majority of the film is going to take place in this super crazy city. You get to see all the, because that's the thing with Thor Ragnarok, is it loved its world, and it loved the environment that the film and the characters inhabited, and they showed off all the crazy, funny, amazing things. And this one's like, okay, we get a really cool establishing CGI shot of a spaceship going through the city, but like we never saw. We see all these amazing, like, huge skyscrapers and all these crazy things, and the only time we ever get to see the city is like one set of a marketplace where people buy like roasted ham,
or like a river waterfall set where there's a bunch of CGI extras and people fight with their shirts off.
No, you've got this incredibly advanced society who makes all of their major political decisions based off of shirtless spear fights in a river.
Well, that was just so we could see Michael B. Jordan with the little scars on his body and Chadwick Boseman with his shirt off.
I always thought in the trailers that he had the little dots because it was some kind of like some kind of like my skin is covered with the protective glove of ultra vibranium.
Oh, yeah, no, that's scarification.
Yeah, so he's been doing that for every kill, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet they
so
all
he's called Killmonger.
So he collects the kills on his body. So why did all of his scars look like they were made at the same time? Because scars don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. Scars are affected on your body by like, you know, how long they've been. An older scar is going to look more weathered and settled in, where a newer one's going to look fresh and weird. Like, shouldn't there be like at least 50 scars on his back that look like they were made yesterday?
It's because it looks cool, okay?
It looks like he's got a bunch of Tide Pods under his skin.
Wow, that was topical. Good joke. Solid bit.
It's not topical anymore. But what I'm getting at is that it was confusing because the film is advertised as this crazy sci-fi romp, and much of it is, but then you get just like a lot of interesting tribal stuff, and it's played in a way that shouldn't work with this kind of film that in the world that this sets up as this crazy advanced civilization. But it's not crazy advanced if you have to have all your political fights in a way that is so, dare I, and again this is getting weird and almost racy, but primitive, you know? Like, it's just weird. Like, it's this film that is meant to show, you know, that black people can have tech too, but we fight all our fights in rivers like crazy people.
I think it was meant to be like reflective of a meeting between the technologically advanced and sort of the still tribal days.
Yeah, but that's very odd.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, good talk. Glad we had this conversation.
So, any final thoughts, Matthew?
Oh, okay. You know what, man? Black Panther was good. Go see it. It's a good time.
Black Panther is a very good. Jesus Christ, that was my sister. Yes, the crazy one that tries to murder me in my videos, and it gets sucked into a storm drain with a clown. She just came in, everyone. She escaped the clown. It's real.
Just kidding. You're not allowed to see Black Panther unless you're black.
Yeah, so it's much of the culture around this, and there's so many, like, people get fucking beat up because...
And those are fake. Those have been proven to be fake.
Most of them have been proven to be fake. Majority.
Which ones are real? I want you to
cite my sources.
Send me the links.
Right
I want
now.
you to cite your sources.
I'm going to send you a link right now on Twitter. Go. I'm not even joking. Go to your Twitter. I'm gonna DM MPS.
Vinnie just sent me a link to midget amputee porn. I want everyone to know.
No, this is not a joke. It's not a midget amputee porno. Because I sent you the tape of that for Christmas. Here you go. Here is the link to the black oppression.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me look closer at this picture here. Right, no, yeah, that's real. That's for sure real. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to throw it up on screen real quick here.
Would you care to show the audience what I sent you the link to?
That's going to go up on screen right now. So I just want people to know that...
Actually, wait, can you put this image on the screen?
Oh, I see. Another completely real picture. Yeah, I'll be sure to throw this up too. These are both very good pictures, I have to say.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. Well, the moral of the story is...
support black filmmakers, but don't subscribe to black YouTube.